My brothers and my sisters, when God created Eve, watch this, when God created Eve, he opened Adam's side, he took out a rib, and then he closed it back up. A surgeon will never open you up without closing you back up again. Some of you have opened yourself up to people who have hurt you and took a piece of who you are, but I hear the Spirit of the Lord saying today, it's time to close it back up. You've got to move on. You can't keep allowing people to come in and out of your life anytime they please, trying to control and manipulate your life. They are not adding to your life. They are hurting you. They are taking away from you. And at some point you're going to have to bring closure so that they can no longer have access to your life. Encourage somebody, say you got to move on. Anything that opens must at some point be closed, because it continues to stay. If it continues to stay open, it carries the possibility of infection. Things like depression and discouragement will infect your mind. Things like guilt and regret will infect your conscience. Things like anger and bitterness will infect your spirit. Things like anxiety and stress can infect your body with sickness. I don't know who I'm talking to, but it's time for closure. It's time to close the door. It's time to close the door of unresolved issue. People who hurt you, those who offended you, and failures of your past, issues that you're still holding on to, that you won't let go. Tell somebody it's time to close the door. Now lift your hands and say, I've got to move on. I've got to move on from this hurt. I've got to move on from this pain. I've got to move on from this divorce. I've got to move on from this offense. I've got to move on from what they said to me. I've got to move on for what they did to me. I've got to move on for how they treated me. I've got to move on from that relationship. I've got to move on from what happened yesterday, what happened last week, and what happened last year. All things must pass away, and all things must become new. Look at somebody and say, I've got to move on. Oh, give God a praise, somebody. God, I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired, Elder Cheryl, of being stuck. How many tired of being stuck? All being in the same place and never being able to move because I'm still holding on to what used to be. But the devil is a liar. God has something better. God has something greater. Destiny is calling me to a higher place, and now unto him that is able to do exceeding and abundantly above all that we ask or think. Push on somebody and say, I've got to move on. I'll give God a praise. My brothers and my sisters, in my conclusion, when Jesus was hanging on that cross, the last three words he spoke before he died, recorded in John 19:30, was, "It is finished." Those three words represented closure. Those three words served a notice to the devil that the door of sin was shut. The penalty of sin had been paid with the death of Christ. Therefore, the door of sin was shut once and for all. But when one door closes, another door opens. They put the body of Jesus in a tomb, and the door of the tomb was shut on Friday, but on the third day the door of the tomb came open. Look at somebody and say, one door closes and another door opens, and Jesus got up from the grave. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but this is your resurrection day. No more crying, no more weeping, no more mourning. Like David, it's time to get up. It's time to dry your eyes. It's time to wash your face. It's time to buy you a new outfit and take yourself out to dinner, because this is your resurrection day. Tell three people, it is finished. Put your hand together. And I speak closure over your life. Look at somebody and say, I speak closure over your life. That situation is about to come to a close. That issue is about to die. That problem is about to come to an end. Your settlement is about to become finalized. Your debt is about to be paid off. The old you is coming to an end, and the new you is about to be raised up. The door is closed. The struggle is over. Somebody shout, it is finished. Say it again, it is finished. Give God a shout, somebody. Give God a praise. Yeah. I need somebody to praise him like you know it's over. I need you to praise him like you know it's finished. Praise him for every door that's about to close in your life. Your season of pain is over. Your season of frustration is over. Your season of disappointment is over. Your season of depression is over. Your season of guilt is over. Your season of shame is over. Your season for apology and beating yourself down for the mistakes of your past. Look at somebody and say it's over. Look at somebody else and say it's over. I don't know who this is for, but I hear the Spirit saying that today is the official day of closure. It is finished. It's time to get up. It's time to go after what belongs to you. Prophesy to somebody and say, I speak closure over your life. Look at somebody else and say, I speak closure over your life. Run to somebody, grab him by the hand and say, I speak closure over your life. Tell him it is finished. Tell him it is over. Tell him you got to move on. I don't know what you're stuck in, but you got to move on. Today is your official day to move on. It's your official day to go to your next level. It's your official day to be promoted. It's your official day to let go and let God. This is your day. This is your hour. This is your season. This is your time. Say, neighbor, oh neighbor, I've got to move on. Now clap your hands and give God a praise.